This video is brought to you by Virtual Shield's VPN service. A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's basically an app that you install on your computer or mobile device that encrypts your information and protects it from hackers and greedy websites trying to track your data. Having a VPN can save you from instances like your credit card information being found or somebody hacking into your home security system. Cheap, helpful, extremely easy to use. Check out Virtual Shield's VPN on sale now. Links will be in the description below.
What's up, guys? Q's back. They chimed in with a couple of posts late last night, and in this video we'll also be taking a look at what happened today in Richmond, Virginia, with thousands of people there protesting the attempted removal of their Second Amendment rights by the state government, and it went amazing, which is very good because there was a lot of fear-mongering around this event, some expectations that things might get a little crazy there. None of that happened. It went incredibly smoothly. So we'll take a look at that. But I first want to start off with those two Q drops. So Q was gone for about 21 days, and they posted two drops late last night. And since then, 8kun has been under heavy attack. A lot of shilling going on there, a lot of what looks to be hacking. So crazy stuff happening on that website, of course, now that Q's posting again. And with those two Q drops, the first one just said the Great Awakening in all caps. So they posted that to get us excited. And in the other one, an Anon on 8kun posted one of Q's drops from exactly 2 years ago. And that drop said, "The Great Awakening, a week to remember, and a shot heard around the world." Q posted that, reposted that. And let's take a look at that drop from exactly 2 years ago. Actually, there's a few interesting drops from exactly 2 years ago around these specific days. One of them said, "Remember this day." This one that Q reposted saying a week to remember. We might get a really interesting week this week, so eyes open for that. And then the shot heard around the world. Now remember, when Q posts things, there could always be multiple meanings for that. And there's a lot of meanings to the shot heard around the world. One of those meanings that I think is probably the most applicable in this context is the start of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Concord. It's said that the shot that started off the Battle of Concord there was the shot heard around the world, and we are in revolutionary times here in this country, are we? Or really, worldwide. We have a revolution going on right now. So, a week to remember, shot heard around the world. Good to have Q posting again. Glad to see you, gentlemen. I think it was just in a video I did a couple of days ago where I said, I hope Q starts posting again, and then the next day they do, because things been getting pretty crazy out there. So it's good to have a sense of direction with them dropping again. But now let's move on. Actually, one more thing before I move on into talking Virginia. POTUS on Twitter this morning just gave us a nice little Q proof that I want to highlight. So the president retweeted his approval ratings, 51% approval ratings. He retweeted that. And in his retweet, he commented, he said, "They say you can add 7 to 10% to all Trump numbers." 7 to 10%. Interesting. The only reason that's interesting is because what happens when you add 7 to 10? You know that. And you know what that number means. Yeah. QAnon. All right, moving on to Richmond, Virginia. So we had that protest there. Huge turnout. I think the estimates are that the crowd was like 25 to 50,000, maybe even more than that. But big turnout there. And like I said, nothing happened. Not one shot, not one person arrested. Even the cops said, we were just standing there. Like, there was no violence. We had nothing to do. So not one arrest. And this is, of course, after the fake news media over the whole weekend was just pumping out all this fear porn, all this fear-mongering. I think I saw one tweet from Ben Collins, that douchebag from NBC. And he was promoting all sorts of fear, saying that all these white nationalists were going to be there. No matter what happens, make sure you get video of the event. Make sure you get the facts of what really happened. And shoot, nothing happened. My gosh, there were probably, well, if there were, 50,000 people there, how many people were open carrying at this event too? You saw all sorts of photos and videos of people having their rifles out. I saw this photo of a dude who even brought his 50 cal there. And that's just all the weapons that were open carried. How about all the guns that were concealed carried? So there were probably thousands and thousands of guns there, And again, not one arrest, not one shot, no violence. So I think we can safely say now that guns aren't the problem, right? I bet the fake news networks right now are really bummed because they have nothing to promote their hoax narratives with, and all that fear-mongering they were doing over the last week completely imploded. So there's that. And the beautiful thing is that people from all sorts of creeds, all sorts of colors and backgrounds were there in unison, trying to, call for freedom, call for their rights. There were gay people there. I saw photos of that. Saw photos of trans people there, black people, white people. Everybody was there in unity. How beautiful was that? There were even some Q flags there that I saw. Just, again, it all went so smooth, much better than I think anybody could have imagined. I think in my video the other day, I was even saying like, man, if I was there, I wouldn't go because it might get a little hairy. I was wrong, and I'm glad I was. Shoot. And honestly, I think one of the coolest things that happened out of this rally was the fact that some of the protesters stayed afterwards to clean up the place. You saw the sidewalks and the streets where they were rallying completely clean. And this is totally different than a lot of rallies that, are typically a lot different than this one that the other side of the aisle likes to throw. They get obnoxious. It's dirty. We've seen some of those women's rallies and climate change rallies and like the rallies that promote the mainstream bullshit propaganda of people who are just like incited by the fear. They just leave it dirty as all heck. This one was clean. So you can see when you're not delving into those fake news narratives and when you're out there in unison for peace, a nonviolent protest like that, it's so much better. It's so much better than anything that typically goes along the lines of the deep state propaganda. It's just night and day difference. So anyway, amazing stuff. One last thing, couple more things, just funny things. There was a video of an infiltrator I saw, and he was filmed making a comment about killing somebody. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he made some sort of comment about like jumping a fence and killing somebody. And all of the protesters around him were like, "What the hell are you doing, dude?"
Revolution Day? Heck yeah. You want to hop those fences and kill that guy? Oh, yeah. He's stirring stuff up. Why would you say something? You're making a speech about people rising up. That's dumb like that.
So are you conservative?
I'm libertarian.
You're libertarian? Okay.
So if we go libertarian, and that is not how we are. I completely agree, sir. I'm here peacefully.
You said something so extreme.
No, sir.
And that's exactly what the left
trying
wants.
to call him out on what he was trying to stir up.
No,
I'm not
trying to stir up
anything.
You did.
I wasn't trying to stir up anything.
What the fuck?
You
what the
said
fuck
something
was that
about
shit
killing
about going to
people.
killing people? What the fuck was that? Look,
I'm
punk,
asking you a
look,
question.
Punk, we know where you're about. You're an infiltrator. Get the fuck.
And they started calling his ass out, getting in his face, telling him to leave. Like, we're here peacefully. And those sorts of comments, no, those don't vibe here. And they wanted to kick his ass out. So they got up in his face. They instantly called out the agent provocateur, and he did nothing. And there was really, no infiltrators there, no provocateurs, because of course you have thousands of patriots there that are armed to the teeth. But not just that, when people did try provocateuring, they were called out instantly and had cameras on them. So that was a very good thing. It stayed peaceful. It stayed nonviolent. People who tried to make it violent were called out. Not just that, this is funny. Somebody showed up to the protest with a giant Epstein didn't kill himself sign on the back of their truck. I mean, great event to do that at, right? You got 50,000 people there, a lot of cameras. Why not, man? Why not spread some narratives about other things that people need to wake up to as well, right? Perfect opportunity to do it. So shout out to that guy. Shout out to everybody, in fact, who was there and who made it a wonderful event, a wonderful rally. to call for your freedom. So just very good stuff, man. Very good stuff all around today. America is waking up. They're pissed off. We had 10,000 plus people rally in New Jersey last week protesting against mandatory vaccinations. That stayed peaceful. That sure impacted the collective consciousness with all the videos and screenshots that were taken from that event. So good work there. Now we had tens of thousands of people at this event today, event that went very well, and they're all fighting for their rights, fighting for their freedoms. So America is waking the hell up. They're mad, and this is very good. You know, I'm all for direct action protests like this, and I'm all for it staying peaceful, you know? And with the internet these days, with how we can get videos and pictures of events like this and share it around like wildfire, all you need is a few thousand people, but then that spreads to millions, millions. Keep protesting, everybody. Keep standing for your freedom, standing for your rights. The Great Awakening continues. I'll be back soon. See you, everybody.